Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Novocaine, and this is a new dark comedy action thriller coming to you from directors Dan Burke and Robert Olson, from writer Lars Jacobson, and this film focuses on Jack Quaid's Nate, who falls in love with Amber Mid-Thunder's Sherry. They both work at this bank, and bank robbers come in led by Ray Nicholson and wind up kidnapping Sherry. And just one thing, Nate happens to have an ability where he feels no physical pain, and he turns into a one-man army to try to save her. One thing that's very interesting about this film, it subverts some expectations. It has some twists and turns in its story and unexpected revelations about how this relationship between Nate and Sherry exists, his lack of friends and his connection with Roscoe, played by Jacob Batalon, who's an online friend of his, him getting into odds with the police, and all of these elements add some more depth to this. I do feel like story-wise this film becomes a little too overstretched. It's an hour and 50 minutes long, and its fast-paced energy does not feel like it's suited to, why is this story dragging out even more? This could have been a nice, lean thriller, but then you had to throw some logic out the window to keep this story going and add some shock for shock value, but more crazy, over-the-top, ridiculous action and physical comedy, and very dark physical comedy. This film really rides high on its demented sense of humor and all of the disturbing body horror of seeing a hand deep fried, burnt on cast iron pans, eyes gouged out, just glass sticking out of somebody's fist everywhere, and it continues and continues, adrenaline shots and this and that and another, brutal creative deaths along the way. And this film gets a lot of points for being very creative and completely committed to this genre bit. And this film is legitimately funny at times and has a great sense of humor and a very dark sense of humor. Very morbid presentation of this story. I think a long way, not necessarily the writing for some of these connections in these characters, because our antagonists, including Ray Nicholson, are very one-dimensional, but his just manic energy really brings it. Jack Quaid is incredibly charismatic here, and him selling that scene where he's being tortured but he can't feel any pain, so he has to fake it, is so thoroughly entertaining and fun. I think Mid-Thunder is very charismatic as well, even though her character is very one-dimensional, cool girl that, of course, a guy wants to fall in love with her. And the two of them, though, have great chemistry, and we buy into it. And even somebody like Betty Gabriel and Matt Walsh, who play the cops here, not particularly interesting, but they both have a good sense of humor. And that's the thing, the dark sense of humor goes a long way in this film. The action goes a long way. Even though it's completely needless, this fourth act car chase into final battle sequence really does deliver on an action standpoint and a thriller standpoint. It just narratively just feels tacked on to add even more to this film. And, it has its charm. And it's, thinly written romance does get a lot more substance thanks to the actual very clear chemistry between Quaid and Mid-Thunder. And the cast goes a long way in making this work, but Burke and Olsen really deliver on the action front. This is a wild and crazy, fast-paced ride that is thoroughly and dementedly entertaining for sure. But those are my thoughts on Novocaine. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.